We like anime. And this is our podcast. It's called The Protagonist Seat.
Where we talk about anime.
We talk about it. We talk about some pretty good shows for a good week.
Sometimes we don't talk about them, though.
Sometimes. Like this week, we won't talk about Goblin Slayer.
Recap episode.
Only recaps, nothing new. So we don't care. Go away. Goodbye.
So we are jumping straight into Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai.
Kaide Quest.
Kaide goes outside.
Kaide goes outside. And even goes to Mai's house.
In this episode, Kaide goes outside.
Yeah, she just...
It sounds like I'm making fun of that, but no, that was a big emotional scene for her.
It super is. Like, she takes one step out the door and just breaks down in tears, and we see Rascal, he tears up.
And I was wrong. I was right about the body switching thing, but I was wrong about this. I thought we were doing the other girl with the umbrella, her arc. No, this is Kaide's, because the ending theme is Kaide.
Yeah, and it's like... And there's also some weird developments in that vein, because, like, Sakuta gets a letter left in his mailbox from the...
Mm-hmm.
He rationalizes it as sort of... basically, he gets a letter... And it's from his crush, and he's like, I know it's from my crush, but not like the middle school version, because...
And Mai proves herself to be just the best girl by being chill about everything.
Oh, she is super fucking chill about it. I actually love that scene a lot.
Like, if I had to give someone girl of the season, it's probably Mai, since she throughout the entire show has been cool with him helping all these other girls without being like, I'm angry and jealous and we're going to have a misunderstanding.
Yeah, instead she's like, well, you're going to go anyway, right? So whatever.
She even helps with it.
Yeah.
Like when he has to go talk to that girl from Kaide's old school, she's like, okay, I guess I'll go scout out the beach for your old girlfriend for you.
Yeah, because the note says, meet me at the beach at 12. And she doesn't show up.
Also, for the beginning of the episode, fucking Japan, where she has to have a press conference to tell people she has a boyfriend.
Yeah, she has a whole press conference, and turns out Director Man is the real MVP, pulling out some real sick quips, being like, yeah, we know someone wouldn't be depraved enough to take photos of someone in their private life, and then everyone laughs, because that's how the whole controversy came about.
Mm-hmm.
But they have the press conference. Our Sakuta boy finds the note. Mai is super cool about it because Sakuta actually is a little uncomfortable with it at first. So he goes to Futaba, because who else would he go to?
His science bro.
He goes to Science Girl Bro,
who is making coffee again in a beaker.
She must drink a lot of coffee.
I don't know if I'd want to drink coffee from a beaker, just because all the chemicals that are used there.
I would not trust the science lab equipment. But
although she's the only member of the science club, so I guess, it's not seeing a lot of use. Oh. Yeah, remind me tomorrow. Updates. I'm not updating today.
Yeah, fuck that. But during the conversation, you see her pull out her phone, and it takes a little minute, and Sakuta's like, what are you doing? And she just looks at him.
She's like, I texted Mai
I'm
basically
texting
all
Mai
that.
Everything, so she'll be here in a couple minutes.
And she's there, instantaneously.
And then she just leaves. She's like, whatever. All right, have fun talking this out. And then Mai's super the coolest.
And then she goes, helps him, and then he meets that girl from Kaide's school, and then he goes home, and Kaide has made a list of things she wants to do.
All of them involving her brother,
because
that is Kaide's character.
And, well, you eventually find out at the end of the episode, because Kaide starts doing more and more, the whole reason Kaide so clung to her brother, she has no memories.
Yep, she is an amnesiac.
Which I don't know if it's part of her puberty syndrome or the bullying was just that bad.
I think it's all kind of related to where it was so bad that she got the puberty syndrome symptoms, and as sort of a way of mitigating that, her body just her mind just suppressed those memories. because girl from Kaide's past shows up at the beach and is like, hey, Kaide, because they all go to the beach to hang out and be good friends with Kaide.
Yep,
and
it's Sakuta, Mai, Kaide, and my sister, who...
I forget her name.
Yeah, I forget her name, too. Her arc was just kind of the most okay.
Yeah, it was fine. But girl from Mai's past, or Kaide's past, shows up and is like, hey, I'm from your past. Don't you remember? And then Sakuta is like, no, she does not. She does not remember anything.
And that's the end of the episode.
I have a theory that girl is the one who bullied, or who at least started some of the rumors and started bullying Kaide. Cause
yeah, like she regrets it, you think?
Yeah, cause when she met with Sakuta, she seemed, I don't know, there was something in how she was describing it that made it seem like she was pretty intimately involved with it. Cause she was like, yeah, the bullies
I got
were
a different idea. I thought
expelled.
maybe that was just one of her friends at school before it happened.
It could be.
But a school friend where they're not close enough where they're going to go out of their way to be like...
Yeah, just like an acquaintance. Like, hey, this person's in my chemistry class, and I'll say hi and talk to him.
Yeah, except it's Japanese high school, so you're just in one class.
Yeah, this person's in my class.
Yeah, we are just this class. We do this until we graduate.
Yeah, this is us. Forever.
That's going to be a mix of, it could either be a really good thing or a really bad thing.
Yeah, because if you get someone you hate, you're stuck with them for a long-ass time.
Yeah, their high school's only 3 years, but that's 3 years of just either being in a class full of great people and everyone gets along, or you get the King's Game classroom.
Yeah, you could get either King's Game or, you could be stuck with Bakugo. That would suck.
Yeah, you have a Bakugo in your class.
Or you could be with Sakuta, who's just the chillest dude ever.
Think about that. Just on a side note for My Hero, Bakugo and him were in the same middle school class, so they were all throughout there together, and now they're in the same high school class.
These dudes have known each other for literally ever.
And they don't get along. Think about how shitty school must be for Deku until he got superpowers.
It explains why Deku is just such a glutton for punishment. Bakugo was his only friend for a while, and that dude fucking just was so mean to him.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, so that is
theories.
The rascal of the week.
Things are escalating once again in a new arc.
And I think this will be the final arc, because I think we only got 2 episodes left after this.
I believe it.
We are nearing the end of everything.
The end of everything. Unlike Zombieland Saga, where we are also nearing the end of everything, but it also hypes up pretty good because holy shit, this episode is so good.
We find out who Sakura was.
A fucking downer.
Yeah, someone who failed at everything they ever tried to do.
She worked super hard to get super good at everything, and just at the last moment, literally every time, something went wrong.
And you find out in the first episode she was actually trying to apply to be an idol before she was hit by that truck.
Yep. And, yeah, that sucks. I think that lends credence to the theory of Necroducer being the one accidentally hitting her and being like, oh shit. Because if he rooted through her stuff and found an idol application, oh boy, that'd cause some feels.
Yeah. And she ends up basically realizing this, and she goes on this whole tangent of just, oh, I fail at everything I've ever done. I'm just a failure. I don't want to be an idol because I'll just fail at it.
She also doesn't remember anything from her zombie time. She remembered her real life, well, her living life, but not her undead life.
And turns out I was actually for lack of a better word, an idol to her.
Yeah.
Where she looked up to her and wanted to be just like her.
And then she gets hit by a bus or a van. But it's fine, though.
I like how all the girls try to go at night to go and try to console her.
And
they each come up with an excuse.
Yeah, it's so good. I need to... The stars are calling me. And then they just go up. I want you to have this star. And then Sakura puts it up to her head. is this cute? Lily's like, no, you're not wearing it right. And then Sakura gives the most soul-crushing answer.
Like, oh, if you're cute, you should be fine to wear it anywhere.
Yeah, if you're really cute, then you can wear it however you want. And I just mess up everything because I'm so not cute. And then she throws it into the floor like a ninja star, which makes me think that star is real dangerous to give to a 12-year-old.
Yeah, that's a potential weapon.
Yeah.
And then they had what's his name? Necroducer.
Yeah.
He ended up showing up and turning the whole thing kind of upside down by, he tried to go and console her, and he basically kind of issued her a challenge.
Yeah, because he doesn't strike me as the sort of consoling type. So even though Sakura was like, just give up, I can't do it, he just like gets in her face and is like, but I can do it.
Yeah.
I can do it, and I'm not going to give up on you.
I'm going to fix this.
There's also a scene that I thought was pretty interesting where he goes to a bar and he's talking with the bar owner. And the bar
I was
owner,
going to bring up that.
Yeah, the bar owner knows his plan. He's talked to him, and he actually says, be careful with Yagiri or Yaguri?
Yanagiri.
I think it's Unagiri.
Yeah, the
courtesan.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's Unagiri.
Unagiri. We'll fix that in post, whatever. The courtesan woman.
Fix it in post. Just immediately, like, just every time we say it, it cuts to like just audio from the show, like Unagiri.
But one of the idol girls saying it too. But he's like, yeah, be careful with courtesan woman. Insert name here. She's done a lot for me, so I owe her a lot. And I was like, oh, this isn't her first.
I assume, I'm like, that guy's a zombie, because you can see him after eat, like, the dried squid. And you can also hear kind of the same sound effects when he moves, like, like the...
Yeah, there's a little bit of creaking.
Yeah, the creaking.
So I wonder if there's some sort of shadow society of Zambinos.
Yeah, zombie society.
Speaking of courtesan woman, she goes to console Sakura in, like, full geisha garb.
Yeah, and by the time she gets there, she's already gone.
Yeah, the attic is empty. So there's a lot of just things developing, and I don't know where it's going.
Yeah,
new directions.
It was a good episode.
Good stuff.
I liked it. I again felt like there was a lot of time spent on the moping.
Yeah, that's fair. Because there really was. That's what most of the episode was.
It's the entire episode until like the couple scenes with Necroducer.
Yeah, and then So I wanna see where it goes. I'm looking forward to it as usual. Much like every week, I look to my moe just cutesy middle school
ladies.
Girl. Cutie ladies.
Yep.
I love how the Q in the title for that song is in Japanese characters.
Yeah.
And then everything else is in English.
But yeah, Miss Vampire Who Lives in My Neighborhood.
Yeah, I should probably drop the title for that. It's a good idea.
So the A-plot of this episode is they are cleaning Sophie's closet.
Turns out when you're live for 360 years, you collect junk.
You collect a lot of junk. And then in the second half, Akari catches a cold, and of course, vampires being vampires, never getting sick, don't really know how to deal with that.
So they they frantically call Hinata.
Yeah, I guess let's just cover the B plot first, because that was the more interesting one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then Ellie's talking about how to fix the problem, because she's like, I know some medicine, but of course she's been asleep for 100 years, so her view of modern medicine is just not that at all. It's super outdated. She's like, let's try bloodletting.
Yeah.
That thing that does not work.
Oh, you must need to balance your yellow bile with your mucus because, your four humors are all out of whack.
Yeah, medical practices that aren't even discussed anymore.
It was, I gotta give credit where credit was due. It was a good Ellie episode.
Yeah.
Well,
I liked
at
how,
least
yeah,
second
in the
half.
A plot when they're cleaning, all she does is read manga the whole time.
Yeah, she reads the entire series of one particular manga, and that's it. She doesn't help at all. Which, you know what? I believe it.
There was even a little secret, I guess, it wasn't a C plot, but a little scene at the end where Ellie's reading a manga of Sophie's, and she's like, oh, do you have, like, the
Oh,
last
yeah.
2 volumes? And she's like, oh, well, I left them with Akari. And she's like, oh, she's sleeping right now. All right, let's go get them, but let's be very quiet. And they notice she's sleeping, and they're like, man, it sucks that humans sleep, without, 4 walls around them.
Yeah, can you believe that she sleeps with no walls or cover? And they're both just utterly shocked at this.
And they think, oh, you know what we should do to help her? They take a huge board and they put it on top of her, and they're like, now she'll sleep better.
We did a good thing here. And then Akari is in narration like, and then I had weird nightmares all night.
Yeah, about being crushed.
It was the worst sleep I've ever had. Good quality content.
But yeah, the B plot with the sicknesses, they all basically just, she's fine.
What do
It's
we
the common
do?
cold, but the vampires panic, and Hinata just kind of is like, no, we don't need to call an ambulance. We don't need to go to the hospital. I think the best line that was dropped in this entire episode is when Sophie's really worried about her, and Ellie's like, it's okay. It's not like our time when the Black Death was going around.
Yeah, she just drops that super casual. Like, it's fine. There's no Black Death. Oh, the writing on this show is so good. Makes me so happy. So happy.
And then in the A plot is, they're just kind of going through Sophie's stuff, and they're trying to find out what's worthless and what's not.
Yeah, turns out there's a lot of worthless shit. And then
and we find out why Sophie came to to Japan.
Yeah.
I almost said America. I don't know why. But yeah, she came to Japan because they were wondering if it was because of a book she read or something like that. Super Mario 2.
Yep. They find a signed book that's like describes Japan as the gold
Yeah,
land.
by Marco Polo.
And
that's what they thought. Oh, it's got to be because of that.
yeah, Akari's like, you came over here because you were inspired by that, and Sophie's like, actually, I came here to buy Super Mario 2.
Yeah.
Because this
Which means she's only been here since the 80s.
part A is like loaded with just almost brand drops. Like they buy Pizza Hut.
Yeah. And then at the end, she was like, this is such a fun memory with my friends. I'm going to save this pizza box as
Yeah.
a memory. And they're like, we just threw out all the junk. Don't start adding more.
Stop it. And then she goes to buy something. I can't remember if it's specifically manga or what. But then she comes across like a
She's like,
person-sized
I
mecha.
just cleaned the place out. Don't make any unnecessary purchases. And then like the light shines like, ah.
She stands there for an hour agonizing over the choice. And I believe she leaves without it.
Yeah.
Cannot 100% confirm. We'll keep an eye on future backgrounds.
Well, yeah, that was nice. It was every week. It's nice.
It is a nice break to have a show that's just not really about anything. There's no real plots to it. It's just like they do stuff.
Yeah.
They just hang out and they do stuff.
These fucking gay middle school zombies, not zombies, vampires just dick
super
around.
gay vampires. like man, it's so crazy strong. Almost like the vibes in JoJo Part 5.
JoJo. So we learn more about Narancia.
He had kind of a shitty childhood.
Yeah, his dad was, I guess, I don't know. I don't know what specifically his dad did. He just kind of looked disappointed
Yeah.
from a distance.
He looked distant and vaguely disappointed, and that's kind of it. Because they don't describe him actually doing anything. It's just sort of, and Narancia hated his father.
He rebelled against him, and all you just see him with a frowny face in the background, like shaking his head, like little
Narancia.
I don't approve of that.
I don't approve of your mom dying, little Narancia. I don't approve of that.
And we finished the fight with Formaggio.
Yeah. Cheese man. who has little feet.
And he put Narancia in a bottle because he was tiny with a spider, which I would have not been good with.
No, I would have probably died out of a sheer just panic attack. My heart would have stopped.
Yeah, also, I wouldn't have survived to the point where, like, he goes up, stabs it. First of all, I wouldn't even have gone that far. I would have been probably dodging it the whole time. And then after, it's webbing him up and chewing on him, or, like, injecting its acid into him. And he's still, like, talking.
Yeah, he's just...
I would have been like, just...
End me, please.
Yeah, I would have been like, I want to die. I don't want to be here anymore.
He actually... Formaggio is interrogating him, and he's like, tell me where your friends are, I'll kill you. And Narancia's like, you think I honestly want to live so badly that I'd give up my friends? And I was like, that's pretty anime, Narancia. Good on ya.
And he beats Formaggio because he ends up, Formaggio ends up shrinking, and he ends up trying to escape because a car is on fire.
Narancia sends little Bomber to basically blow up a car right behind him and solve the problem.
Yeah, that's what basically gets him to drop the bottle so Narancia can free himself. And once he returns to actual size, Formaggio shrinks, and because Little Bomber can only track through carbon dioxide...
And there's a fire.
Yeah, the fire basically makes it so he can't track him, so he realizes, okay, I'll just blow up every car in the street, so then he'll be so tiny that the flames would instantly crisp him.
Yeah, there's like... I like this fight because Narancia is set up to be kind of the stupid kid character, and JoJo's stand fights are built around outthinking your opponent in certain ways, but I felt like... Yeah, that is how a stupid person would outthink someone.
It's like, oh man, he's too tiny for me to find.
I'll just blow up everything.
And then he eventually did return to real size, and they go at each other in one final, like, stand attack.
Yeah.
And Narancia wins and beats him, but now his shopping trip has failed. He has failed to go out and buy the things and bring them back.
Because he has literally blown up everything, including the groceries.
And then they get back, and Bucciarati gets an email from the boss on a 90s laptop.
Yes.
In the middle of nowhere, which I imagine that does not function well.
Probably not. And it is in Italian, which, you know what? Kudos to the dudes who make this show for actually writing emails and stuff in Italian.
Yeah, and the boss basically tells him, he gives him new orders about where to, I think, bring Trish, and they split up into two teams. Bucciarati, Narancia, and Mista will stay with Trish, and Giorno, Fugo, I think.
Fugo.
Fugo and Albano,
Abracchio. That's the final team.
Yeah, those three are the scout team. They're going to go ahead and make sure it's safe for them to bring Trish there.
I remember the boss specifically said there is a key to a vehicle to help bring Trish to safety in Pompeii.
Yeah, so they're basically going to retrieve that.
Yep. And then Narancia thinks it's a helicopter because he's like, there's no way anyone could follow us in a helicopter. And I was like, yeah, you just can form a plane out of, like, spiritual fight energy, and you fought a man who could shrink things.
Exactly.
I'm sure no one has any weird power that can allow them to follow a helicopter, one of the loudest things on the face of the planet.
Yeah, also, it can only fly so high, too.
Yeah, so it's like, come on, kid.
I'd say a plane would be safer, but, JoJo doesn't have a good track record with planes.
No.
I mean, they have a better chance because Joseph Joestar is not also riding on that plane, and
That's true.
That man has never been on a plane that hasn't crashed.
He has literally crashed or been involved in a plane crash anytime he's gotten on a plane. It is a flawless record that is not broken.
Exactly. But yeah, that's what we get to see what's going to happen now, as probably more of the Hitman squad is now going to come after them.
I'm excited for Monster of the Week format with
And I'm
Hitman.
assuming that it's going to show off, because it seems to be showing off a new character's stand abilities each fight. We're probably going to see Fugo next time.
Yes, because we already know what Giorno and Abracchio do, so Fugo is next. And I want to know what reference his stand's name is.
I already know it. I don't know if
Feel free to share.
I get to share it with you.
Feel free.
It's Purple Haze.
That's pretty good. Oh no, spoilers on the podcast.
You know the stand name. You know the musical reference.
We know the musical reference to Fugo's stand. It's all ruined now. We ruined the surprise for you. Oh no. Moving on to Double Decker. So no more possible JoJo spoilers.
Double Decker, Doug, and Kirill. Holy shit, this episode got heavy.
Like so much shit dropped in this episode. Like it just threw so much.
Like characters died. Kirill's an alien.
Kirill and his brother sister are aliens.
Yeah, his sister brother.
The second sun is not a sun but a separate planet.
And people live there, and they're a separate species that's, I don't know, special.
And Bamboo Man is the military.
The whole time.
The whole time.
Yeah, so, where do we start?
It's hard for me to even parse where this episode begins. 'Cause
it begins with Kirill being all smug about joining the military.
Oh, yeah. Because Kirill basically goes around asking people, like, hey.
The military commander stroked his ego. He's like, you're special. And he's like, I'm fucking special, yeah.
And turns out the military is now basically solely in charge of 7-0. So now they get to do military orders all the time. Woo! And be jealous of the military men and their good pensions.
But of course it sucks, because that just means the military is now barking orders at them, and they...
Yeah. They made their job much harder. And everyone's like, hey, I would totally drop this and join the military in a second. They get so many good benefits.
But then he goes and he visits Doug. And he's just chilling out with Doug in Doug's apartment. And then he's like, hey, Doug, hypothetically, if being a detective was going to put everyone you know in danger...
Yes, this is post the main, one of the most serious drops, where basically the military general pulls Kirill aside outside and is like, hey, you're a fucking alien.
Yeah, you're an alien, and you're special, but if people know about you, you're going to put everyone around you at risk.
Yep.
And he says to Doug, if being a detective was going to put those around you at risk, would you still do it? And he's like, well, yeah, being a detective's dangerous. I'm always at risk.
Yeah, and it's the best
he's
response.
like, but I got you to look out for me, partner. And then
that's such a good moment.
And then Kirill's just like, yeah, we're partners.
Kirill fucking creams his jeans.
The whole time he's just trying to. He's like, all I got is red bean bread and beer. And he's like, do you want to go out and get something? And he's like, no, I'm staying right here. And he's like, oh, so you want takeout?
Yeah, it's kind of early for takeout. Doug is great. I love him. And I love Kirill too, the little scamp.
And then they find out, because Kirill goes and he talks to his brother-sister, and they basically tells him, yeah, he's like, sorry, I never told you. Mom brought us here, and we were raised by Dan, who apparently was their grandpa.
Yeah.
But, he's like, yeah, I never told you because I wanted to protect you from our secret double life as aliens.
I thought it'd be harder for them to find us if I left you forever. Okay. Sure. You did it.
And then he's going around and he gets a call that they found Zabel's hideout.
Yes.
And basically the military and 7-0 are raiding it.
But not Kirill, because Kirill takes a half day.
Yeah.
He's so excited about Doug calling him his partner that he takes a half day.
But they're all the other members of 7-0 are raiding the hideout, which is a pretty epic scene where all of them are like walking in like the smoke cloud.
Yeah, it's great. This scene is awesome.
But Kirill gets a call from Dr. Apple and realizes while he's on the phone with them, that Dr. Apple gets kidnapped and that 7-0 is currently being held up by the actual Esperanza forces.
Esperanza.
And
it was a setup the whole time.
He calls Doug, and he gets Doug to come because the two of them should be enough to take care of it.
Because they're partners.
Yeah, partners. And they end up going, and then, holy shit, the show starts getting heavy where Dr. Apple's basically being threatened at knife point with the other girl who speaks like she has a lisp, like, Travis said that these guys are coming. And yeah, so then they start holding a knife to her neck, talking about how they're going to, like, cut her artery and stuff, and just to get him to talk about how the AMS bullet works.
It's pretty intense.
And then Kirill and Doug both arrive, and they sneak through the vents and are able to kind of get in there, but they're outnumbered, and it becomes a big Mexican standoff. And then Dina and Yuri show up.
Yes, because Dina, something doesn't sit right with this
about
Dina.
She knows Doug leaving has to mean Doug and Kirill gotta be onto something.
They gotta be onto something. And Yuri's just like, hey, Dina's instincts are usually right, so I'll follow her. You and
Max, Max and Rookie basically stay behind
and hold this down, and then they go and they arrive, and holy shit!
And Zabel breaks out by using a bomb to blow a hole in the wall and jumping onto a helicopter that comes and picks him up. And the rest of them are faced off with the goons, and one of them shoots another one of those sticky bomb things at Kirill, but Yuri jumps in the way, and
then it's on her.
And yep, she's got the bomb stuck to her, and she basically realizes, if anyone's gonna go, it's best her.
There's no way to solve this situation right now without putting myself in danger. And she jumps out the hole. She does a tuck and roll with the bomb on her.
She jumps out the window and blows up just as Max and Rookie arrive. And yeah,
that's all she wrote.
This is heavy.
That's all she wrote for Yuri. Yuri's gone.
And
holy shit.
We see Zabel on the helicopter about to get away, and the pilot pulls a gun on him.
Oh, damn.
So we're like, oh, there's treachery going on in Esperanza. And then after the group is grieving for Yuri, because she's dead now.
Yep.
And
Kirill's
Kirill's not taking it well.
Kirill takes it hard. He's like, but she's... You guys didn't know this, but Yuri was a robot.
That means we can rebuild her.
And they're like, well, maybe if there was a core left.
Because it turns out they have a spare body for her, but because it's for ethical reasons, they do not copy the core.
Because, as Max puts it, even if they did, it wouldn't be Yuri. It would just be another robot with all of Yuri's memories, which is kind of Yuri, but it's not exactly the same.
Yeah, it gets into a whole philosophical questions about what is life and robots and stuff like that. So, to leave it at that, Kirill basically walks out and he's, sheds a couple of tears because he's really sad. And he thinks back to what was said to him about, you'll put your friends in danger by the military guy.
And he calls the general.
And then it cuts back to Bamboo Man giving a meeting to the rest of Esperanza. And he's talking about how Zabel is dead. And
Zabel's plane helicopter was followed and it crashed.
Then he shows up and he's like, hey, I'm not dead. And he's like, was that your plan? And he throws him the pilot's helmet with a bullet hole in the center.
What's left of the pilot is still in the chopper. What? This dude is a badass.
And he goes up to Bamboo Man. He's like, so you were planning to betray me all along, B.
Yep.
And turns out he was planning to betray him, and for some reason he decided to walk up to the guy that can dodge bullets.
This dude can dodge bullets, move at super speed, break dudes in half, and he just walks right on up to him.
And he kills Zabel, so he's finally gone, and he kills a bunch of other Esperanza guys, and now he's the boss.
Yep. He delivers an ironic line of hey, you're just gonna let that food go to waste?
What Z said to him earlier in the episode.
It's Zabel's whole thing where he really hates people wasting food. Because he murders a couple people over it.
and he ends up killing him. And then after he's sitting in the mansion or whatever they were in, and it's just completely on fire, and he morphs his own face into the military commander that Kirill was talking to, and he picks up his phone and goes, "Sorry to have missed your call, Kirill."
Yeah, it explains why at one point Bamboo Man warns the other like jobbers in Esperanza, like, "Hey, watch out for this dude. He's special," which was something that kind of hit me a little off. Like, hold on. How does he know? Actually, it's recounted via the jobbers, because one of the jobbers looks at another one. He's like, "Yeah, the one that we're supposed to watch out for, who's special, isn't here."
Maybe Bamboo Man's an alien.
That's
like,
what
he
I was.
Too. They're both of the same race.
That's what I was thinking, because like maybe someone else stowed away amongst whatever shit was in there, or maybe he just was like he knew that 3 of them stowed away and just didn't say anything. He just said, "Oh yeah, it was only 2."
What if he's Kirill's dad?
What if he is actually Kirill's brother, sister?
What if Kirill's a real time traveler and that's Kirill from the future?
What if it is Kirill from the future?
Oh no.
He's going to use Esperanza for good.
Not good.
Not good.
Anything but good.
Anything but good.
He's going to try to control the drug problem.
By being the drug problem.
I mean, that's kind of what Giorno's plan is for,
Yeah. You know, it is. It actually is his plan. A lot of shit. Like, I still can't fully wrap my head around the fact that one of the main characters...
We went from the previous episode where basically it was Kirill and drag.
Yeah.
And then Yuri's dead now.
Yeah, Yuri died. Just... That's crazy. I'm in shock.
It is an intense episode.
This show is not afraid to go places, which is really nice.
This show is not afraid to stick its head out and say, "Hey, I'm probably gonna be the anime of the season."
Hey guys, don't want to sound too presumptuous, but like, I'm probably gonna be anime of the season.
It probably is.
Don't worry about it. Just like, don't even bother competing.
You know it's not, but you know what is still pretty good?
You mean Iroduku, the World in Colors? God, such a bad intro. Ugh.
But you know what?
But I like the show.
Finally, physical contact.
Yeah, we've done it. We're here, boys.
11 or 12 episodes in, and we finally got a hug.
Show is basically over. We have established that the main character is going back to the future tomorrow, and we get a hug.
Yeah, the whole gist with this episode is they start to figure out something's up with Hitomi, where she'll just disappear every now and then.
Yeah.
And Granny, Kohaku, she messages her professor from London, and they tell her about this thing called like a time gap, where Hitomi, because she's not supposed to be in this timeline, will keep phasing in and out of time gaps until she's permanently stuck in one, since she's not supposed to be here.
Basically, you send someone back in time, it starts to mess up the timeline, and time is trying to kind of correct itself. So do something about that real quick. And that's kind of where the episode goes, is she's like, well, shit, now I really need to figure out how to send her back before my granddaughter gets stuck in a time gap.
And she talks a lot with this dude that works at this library she goes to. I'm assuming that's Grandpa.
Yeah, I like that dude.
Yeah, that's Grandpa. I bet that's Grandpa.
It's probably Grandpa. He commissioned some people to build a star sand watch for her, for time magic, and she needs to find star sand that has been touched by the moon for 60 years to do time magic with, and she enlists the help of everybody.
Yeah, everyone in the class gets together and they go to the beach and start plucking this sand.
Yeah, because a typhoon hit, which means that there's a lot of it now. It washed ashore, I guess.
And everyone's really sad, too, because they got to basically say goodbye to Hitomi. And at the end of the episode, she's just kind of in her room, and she sends a paper airplane with a note on it out to Ai's house with her magic.
With magic, which made me wonder, why don't people do this all the time? That's great. It's literally just like a paper airplane that finds whoever you want it to find.
Well, because we can just text.
Yeah, but that's so much more fun. That's so great. You could have a paper airplane go wherever you want. And eventually she uses it to track down Ai.
Yeah, she sends it to his house, and they kind of flicker their lights at each other. And then after, she sends one out again, and notice it's not going towards his house, which means he must be heading towards her. So then she heads outside, and they both... Well, she's running because, you know, that's what they do in the show. They run.
Everyone runs.
So,
people run places constantly.
And then they see each other, and then they hug in each other's embrace, and then she says how she wanted to see him, and that's how when the episode ends. So they now have 2 episodes left to work out their feelings.
Yep. Maybe even 1, because I'm thinking last episode is probably going to be Hitomi back in the future.
Yeah.
So good luck. I hope they do a lot of talking. Part of me kind of thinks that in the future she's going to try and track everyone down, and she's going to find that Ai is now an illustrator, because that seems to be where his line is going.
Yep, and he would be in his 70s? If it's 60 years in the future and he's a high school student right now, he'd probably be like 77.
Yeah, so he's going to be prime age. But
Ugh.
I mean, at least
I waited for you. I waited 60 years for you.
I waited so long.
Finally. Let's get it on.
Let's get it on. Oh, and then he's got to wait. Well, actually, he's in Japan, so he doesn't have to wait. But yeah,
You don't know if the laws could change within the next 60 years.
That's true. I don't know.
I don't know the political.
Japan laws.
I don't know the political landscape of Hitomi's time.
Yeah, what's the political landscape of 60 years in the future in Japan?
So far, it didn't look that different.
No, it had a little bit of different technology, and that's it. That's all she wrote.
Yep.
Man, this week was so good.
Yeah.
So goddamn good. We got new plot devices. We got people dying.
Yeah, dead characters.
We got people kind of dying, but also like just returning memories.
We got relationships finally moving forward. We got Mai and Sakuta can now officially be public and dating each other.
Yeah.
And we got finally some physical contact in Iroduku.
Just a solid week in anime.
Solid. And there was no Goblin Slayer this week, and yet it was still a solid week. What does that say about Goblin Slayer?
Well, I feel like that's not wholly... I mean, I totally agree, but I feel like that's not wholly fair just because, like, we got all the real good shows this week, so it'd be real hard not to find something good, especially because we're getting very close to the end. Very close to the awards ceremony.
Yeah, I think we got 2 episodes of everything left besides JoJo, which JoJo's going to be sitting out of that because that's going for another, like, 2 or 3 seasons.
JoJo's going to go on forever.
JoJo's probably going to have, like, 40 episodes. It's probably going to be done by this time next year.
We'll be talking about JoJo for a long time.
Ugh.
But in terms of everything else, we're coming to a close.
Yeah, we'll have to have our a video with our final thoughts on everything, and then we'll say what our anime of the season was, which, unless Double Decker just face plants in these last 2 episodes.
Yeah, it would have to fall hard, because like
you would have to just do one episode where it's just basically just Kirill like giving the finger to the audience and just saying like, hey, everyone who watches this is a fucking loser.
Just sitting in his seat and his desk and just flipping people off.
And even then, I would probably still look at that and be like, ha, that's so double-decker, so self-aware.
You know, that would be a strangely double-decker thing to do. But they appreciate their fans. I get the feeling that they appreciate their viewers.
Yeah, that's why the narrator's always like, you fans are so smart, you probably already knew that 7-0 was part of the military.
Yeah, you already remember these two characters, so we don't really need to put these names up here like we just did.
Yeah. But yeah, good week, good shows, good season,
good shit.
And you know what? I'm enjoying all of this. I'm apprehensive but excited about starting the winter season.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss a lot of these real good shows.
We might get a nice gap week where we don't have to immediately, because we get a week where we're gonna watch everything and then decide what we're gonna watch. So we obviously would probably jump into everything around episode 2.
Yeah.
So we get a nice break, just to kind of be like, what are these shows do we like?
Yeah.
What's trash? What's garbage?
What is what's the trigger show?
Yeah. And what's trash, but it's kind of, we wanted that on the list.
What's the fun trash?
Yeah. Give me something I'm digging my hand around and you find like a Kit Kat bar with someone only took off 2 of them and there was like another 2 still in there. It was in the trash. But that's a Kit Kat bar.
And it was wrapped up.
Yeah.
It was, like, wrapped up kind of good.
Like, it was only the corner that was ripped off, and they, like, slid it out.
Yeah. Like some kind of weirdo. Who eats Kit... if you see someone eating Kit Kats like that, just question your friendship.
That's what this show is. We are digging around in a trash can, and we are trying to eat things that are inside of it, but only the good stuff. Only the stuff where... We're like high-class hobos here.
We are content raccoons.
Yeah, we are content raccoons here.
We're searching for the good shit in the trash. And I do kind of really hope that we get some real garbage that's just a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, not garbage like Ulysses, where it was just garbage.
Not that garbage.
Ulysses was like we pulled out like a TV dinner that like someone had already eaten most of.
And then thrown back up into the container.
Yeah.
I hate Ulysses, go away. I don't even want to look at your name on the list anymore.
But we'll be back next week. We'll be back to enjoy these fine cuisine shows, and we will be ready to dig into the next season trash for you when that starts up next month.
Yes. In the meantime... make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can feel free to like this video. You can do whatever you want. I'm not going to force you.
It's a free country.
Ring that notification bell because you know what? YouTube's got a little bit of funky stuff going on sometimes.
Yeah, it's a weird place.
So make sure that's all set up.
And if you want, follow us on our Twitter. You don't have to, if you feel like it. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That might be cool. Maybe follow us on Twitter. That'd be so cool.
It'd be cool if you just like followed us on Twitter.
Yeah, it's at Protagonist Seat.
Yeah, just be like, click that little follow button, look at our updates.
I mean, I'm not gonna check or anything to see if you did or not, but that'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
All right. See you later.
See ya.
That's all we need. Bye.
Bye. Goodbye.